Meghan Markle and Prince Harry are trusting our story to someone else in an upcoming docuseries for Netflix, she told a magazine. The Duchess of Sussex officially confirmed the Netflix series on the couple after previous announcements from the streaming giant only confirmed Harry's project about the Invictus Games, a documentary titled Heart of Invictus. Speaking to Variety, she was asked, "What can we expect from Liz Garbus' docuseries on you and your husband?" Markle replied, "It's nice to be able to trust someone with our story, a seasoned director whose work I've long admired, even if it means it may not be the way we would have told it. But that's not why we're telling it. We're trusting our story to someone else, and that means it will go through their lens." "It's interesting," she continued. "My husband has never worked in this industry before. For me, having worked on Suits, it's so amazing to be around so much creative energy and to see how people work together and share their own points of view. That's been really fun." Netflix docuseries on the couple has provoked some anxiety in the UK media and even prompted some commentators to suggest King Charles III may withhold royal titles from the couple's children, Archie and Lilibet Mountbatten-Windsor, if the series is critical of the monarchy. This week, royal author Katie Nicholl was asked about the show on GB News. "We could be prepared to see the king's ruthless side in all of this," she said. "He's not going to stand back and let the family or the institution or the reputation of the crown, which is everything to him, be tarnished or indeed trashed. Certainly not by two members of the family." She continued, "It's no coincidence, I don't think, that we haven't seen titles bestowed on Archie and Lilibet. I think that whole issue of titles is up for discussion. That trust, that respect, has to be earned. I don't think they're going to get those titles if they are seen to be tarnishing the institution." During Markle's interview with Variety, she paid tribute to Queen Elizabeth II and discussed being by Harry's side as he dealt with the loss of his grandmother. She told the magazine, "There's been such an outpouring of love and support. I am really grateful that I was able to be with my husband to support him, especially during that time." She continued, "What's so beautiful is to look at the legacy that his grandmother was able to leave on so many fronts. Certainly, in terms of female leadership, she is the most shining example of what that looks like. I feel deep gratitude to have been able to spend time with her and get to know her. It's been a complicated time, but my husband, ever the optimist, said, now she's reunited with her husband." The aftermath of Elizabeth's death was a complicated time for the Duchess and Harry, including the day the 96-year-old monarch died. The couple were originally set to travel together to the Queen's Balmoral estate in Scotland, where she died September 8. But the Duchess pulled out, with no official or public explanation for the change in plans. It then became apparent that Harry had been left to organize his own travel to Balmoral, while Prince William, Prince Andrew, Prince Edward and Sophie, Countess of Wessex traveled together. Harry also was not told of the Queen's death until almost 3.5 hours afterward and 15 minutes after the official announcement, which means he found out after many members of the public knew. Later, there was a public backlash against Buckingham Palace over a ruling that Harry, as a non-working royal, could not wear his military uniform at the Queen's funeral, despite his 2 military tours in Afghanistan. But Charles partially backtracked on that edict, creating an opportunity for his second son to wear his uniform at a vigil at Westminster Hall on the Saturday before the September 19 funeral. However, Harry and his wife attended the morning events they were invited to and put on a show of unity with other members of the family. The question remains over whether Charles will give Prince and Princess titles to Archie, 3, and Lilibet, 1, as convention would suggest. During her interview with Variety, Markle was asked how she would feel about her children following her path into the entertainment industry. She said, "I would say, great. When you become a parent, you genuinely want your kids to find the things that bring them complete joy. They're our kids, obviously, and they're part of a legacy and a tradition and a family that will have other expectations. But I want them to be able to carve out their own path." She continued, "If it's the entertainment industry, great. And also, good luck. There are so many people that will talk about what opened the door for my children. But it still takes talent and a lot of grit. We're creating multidimensional, interesting, kind, creative people. That's who our kids are."